So today I'll be talking about the Young Turk Rebellion and the background of it, the actual rebellion, and what the effects and consequences were of it. But just briefly, this is the Young Turk Rebellion flag. This flag was used at the time to show, kind of what they stand for. And the words on the flag mean justice, unity, brotherhood, equality, and freedom. The Ottoman Empire, towards the end of the 19th and start of the 20th century, was in a severe decline. The Pan-Turkish War created a sense of Turkish nationalism that really went against the current imperialistic government that the empire had in place at the time. Also, the events going on in France, like the Revolution and the Enlightenment, also created a strong sense of nationalism that spread over towards the Ottoman Empire. And also, many powers in Europe influenced the Turks to think more towards a constitutional government after seeing again their revolts in France and other powers going away from monarchies as a form of government. Also, the empire lost a considerable amount of land, as you can see in the image on the left. They lost a lot of land in northern Africa, Greece, Romania, and many more. And this also severely contributed to their decline. So one of the causes for the revolution was the economic crisis that was happening during the early 20th century and late 19th century in the empire. Throughout the 19th century, the Ottoman government made trade agreements and took loans from other European countries like France, England, all the major powers. And this led to the Ottomans being in debt to those countries. And in addition to this, there was also a large crop famine in 1950, and also there were increased wages due to inflation. And all these economic factors, along with the leader of the Ottoman Empire, Abdul Hamid II, he was very disliked among the Turkish people due to his imperialistic rule. And this only advanced the decline of the Ottoman Empire structure. And yeah, the main reason why the revolution took place was the people wanted to overthrow Hamid and create a constitutional government. Like I said before, kind of seeing the model of France leaning towards constitutional and leaning away from monarchical. And they wanted the constitution to be restored because in 1878, Hamid's suspended the constitution and was in favor of an absolute monarchist government. And this came after military defeats in Russia during the Russo-Turkish War. Also, like I said, ideas from the Enlightenment began to spread through the empire. And ideas like constitutionalism and liberalism became increasingly popular, and these directly opposed the absolutist conservative policies of Abdul Hamid. So the Young Turks were a group that opposed Hamid and his policies towards the late 19th century, beginning 20th century, right after he suspended the Constitution. It was mainly made up of a group of young university students and military cadets who met in kind of secret societies to talk about their ideas and their goals. And like I said, because Hamid suspended the Constitution, this is when they first started to meet because, they really opposed this new style of government compared to the Constitution. And to make money, these secret societies would write and print newspapers to share their revolutionary ideas with other people, and people would have to buy these newspapers in secret because if they were found out, they would obviously be killed. And the largest of these secret societies was the Committee of Union and Progress, which was founded in 1889. They were the ones who eventually instigated the revolution that took down Hamid's absolutist reign. And at its peak, the committee had about 850,000 members in 1909, and they coined the phrase liberty, equality, and justice, kind of like the one that was on the flag, just a little shorter. And their ultimate goal was to overthrow Hamid and to reinstate the constitutional government that stood before 1878 and before the war. So, the actual rebellion. In preparation for this revolution or rebellion, many leaders of the Committee of the Union and Progress spread their plot to other countries like France, Egypt, and Switzerland to gain support from the Turks who fled the empire when Hamid took away the constitution and suspended it. The three most prevalent leaders were Murad Bey, Ahmed Riza, and Prince Sabaddin. Sorry about that pronunciation. They all spread the liberal ideas of the committee by preaching these in these countries and publishing their newspaper. This exposed their liberal ideas to these countries that might not have known what was going on in the Ottoman Empire, and it also spread awareness to the Hamidian massacres that the Ottoman Empire did. And these massacres were of Armenian people within the empire in the mid 1890s. This brought light to the tragedies of Hamid's absolutist rule, and publishing these stories would hopefully, in the eyes of the young Turks, create a stronger support for the revolution. And while the ideas and coordination of the revolution was first started by the Committee of Union and Progress, the first action actually took place independently from the committee. The first action was started by the 3rd Army Corps in Macedonia, who decided to decamp from Rezne in current-day northern Macedonia. And the 200 troops left their station, calling for a constitutional monarchy to be put into the government of the Ottoman Empire. The Committee of the Union and Progress wrote up a letter to send out to the major European powers, calling for no foreign help and for the empire to return to the constitutional government, also with equal rights to the Ottoman citizens. The revolt officially began on July 3rd, 1908, when Major Ahmed Niazi raided many villages around the Albanian area for money, guns, ammunition. And as he went from village to village, he made the point that the reason for this revolt was the government was corrupt and had a corrupt nature and was weak. He also added that the new constitutional government would push away the European powers from getting involved with the country's matters. And this was something that the Turks feared would happen. And people also followed Niazi's actions and marched all over Macedonia, preaching the same constitutionalist message. And every post office they passed, they wrote to the capital of Constantinople that if things did not change, they would march on to the capital. And since many Turks in the Ottoman Empire now supported this cause for constitutional government, Abdul Hamid was under a lot of pressure, and he was very close to getting removed from office. So on July 24th, 1908, Hamid reinstated the constitution and scheduled for an upcoming election. So this revolution transitioned the Ottoman Empire into the second constitutional era. The empire, with its newly reinstated constitution and parliament, had new political parties. Many of the young Turk societies and organizations turned into their own political party, including the Committee of Union and Progress. Abdul Hamid never technically shut down the old parliament, so the same people now served again who were in parliament 30 or so years ago. But not everyone was happy with the new form of government. Some people within the empire still supported absolutism and wanted it to be restored. So, on the nights of March 30th and 31st, absolutist supporters attempted to stake an uprising against the Committee of Union and Progress, which was the main political party. And they're eventually defeated, and this led to Abdul Hamid being removed from office and the throne. And this incident is known as the March 31st incident. And then these are my sources. Thank you.